Hello, once again, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of AIW's The Card is Going to Change. And before we get into this week's show, no matter how long it's ever been, a thank you to anyone who helps us bring this podcast to you for free on whichever platform you choose to listen. We're always going to give love and shout out to our friends at Smokin' Jay's Barbecue. If you are in the Massillon or Canton area, look, springtime, summertime's coming up. You've got outdoor events. What better thing to have catered than barbecue? And if you've got people that need meatless options, they do it there as well. Follow them on social media at smokin_JAYSBBQ and hit them up. Check out their menu for all sorts of delicious options that they can provide to you for your next catering event. And hey, thanks to our friends at Fight TV. Get the Fight Plus app. We are on it, and we are continuously uploading previous footage from the AIW archive. So that's definitely something you want to keep up to date with, and have a good time with. It's not just pro wrestling. They've got MMA. They've got boxing. There are documentaries, all sorts of different things that you can watch through the Fight Plus app.
Bare knuckle fighting.
Bare knuckle fighting. Have you watched any of that?
Fuck yeah. What
It's
else?
wild.
You think I'm watching wrestling on Fight Plus? I'm watching fighting.
That's fair.
It's sweet.
What have I left anybody else out? Our friends at the Exchange.
That's really our only sponsor. I mean, Smokin'
Yeah.
Jay's is on one of those thrift store jobber plans where he just gets residual shout outs for a long time.
Well, we made some dollars off of the barbecue while it was at our wonderful home at the Odeon, which we, I guess, officially now say goodbye to with this week's sold out show, 216. Before all of that, though, of course, welcome on in AIW owner John Thorne, our
Greetings.
good friend EVP of audio engineering, Ronnie Two Legs in the house. Did I get it right?
Hey,
Did I get the title
can
right?
I give a yeah, you're good. Thank you for that. Real quick, speaking of TSJ, can I give TSJ a shout out? He had a rough week. He had to put down his buddy Pork Chop, his longtime cat.
I did see that.
Okay.
I know what that's like. Still upsets me from time to time about Whiskers the cat. So thrift store jobber, our thoughts are with you. Totally understand what you're going through. Nothing can be said that will make you feel any better. I know that.
No, yeah, we're thinking about you though, man. My name's Steve Guy, moderator of sorts. Gentlemen,
Under the weather of sorts, huh?
Under the weather of sorts, yeah.
You better
Yeah.
drink some lemon tea. You gotta get those pipes cooking on Friday night.
I've been loaded myself up with all sorts of, the liquids you're supposed to, lots of water and hydration methods, and yeah, got to do the lemon tea.
Dude, you know what is? I'm telling you, is the move, and I do it. I do this show week I actually started yesterday. I bought a box of 100 of them. Emergency, dude. Those little orange ones. You do a shot of that every morning. It just boosts you up, boosts your immune system, gets you good, gets you all your vitamins. I'm telling you, just try it. It works.
Big fan of the emergency, huh?
Dude, I rarely get sick, especially around like shows and stuff like that. Because a few days before, it started because I would do it before flights. When I would fly to my friends in California, I have a buddy who lives out there, would always get sick either on the way there or the way home because of it being in the plane. And I'm like, how can I counteract this? Started doing emergency, and it has not failed me.
I was a big fan of those liquid IVs. Similar, but
Yeah, they're similar stuff. Yeah, right, exactly.
All right, guys, this isn't pharmacy talk.
whoa, we did not bring on.
We ain't got a hard sell. It's sold out.
Pharmacist.
Yeah, I don't really got too much to talk about. I would like to be introduced as I would like to be introduced as close personal text friend of Tony Khan from now on.
Oh, okay, I could do that. AIW owner and close personal text friend of Tony Khan, and wink recipient of Double J, John Thorne.
Oh, Double J was my best friend this weekend. I was so happy about it.
He called you over from the other side of the room. He's like, "Is that John Thorne over there?" Like, called you over to the ring.
Not a room, an arena. He screamed
Arena.
for me
You're
in
right.
an
I stand
arena.
corrected. It was an arena, right?
And he did refer to me. He did refer to me as promoter extraordinaire.
Hey, that's a step up from what big shot, small town big shot. What was it?
Local big shot.
Local show.
Local big shot, right? Local show big shot.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't know. Promoter extraordinaire, much better.
But yeah, we I don't know what to talk about. You know, to be perfectly honest, we had absolutely no idea how tickets were selling for this. The only thing we had to go by is looking at the Ticketmaster website and premium tickets. You know what I mean? Not like that's the only way we were able to track it. It'd be like, okay, there's no front rows, there's no stage, there's 1 second row. You know, like that was the only way that we were tracking it. We have no, like we had no idea what was what. You know what I mean? And totally oblivious about the GAs. I just was going on the assumption it had to have been selling good, you know, but when you don't have that, like with Eventbrite, I get every purchase, I get an alert, you know, it's like there's an app on my phone, it emails me, like I'm fully aware of how things are going through Eventbrite, but with Temple Live and Ticketmaster and all that was totally in the dark and oblivious. And then I had been inquiring and did not hear anything. So when yesterday I got an email that said, hey, there's only, or it wasn't even an email. They posted from the Temple Live social media that there was only 9 tickets left. And then I looked, and then after that, I got an email that said, hey, there's only 9 tickets left. And then, like, 5 minutes later, I got an email that said the show's officially sold out.
So, how'd that make you feel? This is our first time there. And I feel like, we went back and forth with these folks for a little while. And it's fair to say that there was maybe some hesitancy on their part with regards to how we would do in terms of ticket sales.
Yeah, so I think that they had very low expectations, just based on what they did there before. So it was a very weird. It was a very weird dynamic, to say the least. So like I didn't know like what we're getting into. Like they didn't know what they were getting into. And especially like, they gave us a suggested amount of tickets and we upped it quite a bit. So I think that they didn't think that it was going to do that great. Like they were just like they were obviously looking to fill their calendar, and I think now, we're days out and it's totally sold out. I think that they are a little, they're feeling a little good. We're all feeling a little good. You know what I mean? It makes us feel better about the additional dates that we do have there later this year, which, I will say are sporadic. You know what I mean? It's not like a full 12 show deal or whatever. I think it's 5 shows for the rest of the year there. 4 if you don't count this Friday night. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling pretty good about it because, it's very easy to get psyched out when you don't have any of that data in front of you to know how the show's doing. It's hard to gauge things on social media anymore. Like there's just so much that there's just so much unknown about it. But yeah, I mean, feeling pretty good that on, Tuesday they said, hey, there's no tickets left.
Well, let me ask you this because I know the question is going to be posed to you. We are in smaller of their rooms, or like the two kind of event rooms. People are going to wonder what is the size difference, and we obviously will have some very excited, overzealous fans who think, "Oh yeah, why don't you guys get the bigger room, sell more tickets?" But it's a pretty drastic difference, is it not?
Oh yeah, I think that there's probably 2,000 more seats in that big room. I mean, the big room's gigantic. I mean, I think it's bigger than the Agora theater room. Uh, the Masonic Temple auditorium is gigantic. We would have to sell 1,500 tickets to look even respectable in that room, which, I don't know if we could do that.
Well, we could also just make a bigger stage production, right, Ronnie Two Legs?
I mean, we have. What if you added the ramp like that? You get some lights out there, some smoke machines.
Yeah, we could take up some space, no problem. Up the budget a little bit, maybe if we get hired by a certain house show a few more times and have some income there. Who knows? The sky could be the limit. But I guess the big question is then, and it's probably way too early to really truly sit there and think about this, but could Masonic be the kind of partner that really has the ability to help co-promote and co-push this, whereas if this becomes the home and they become happy with us, where it's like, why not try to do something in this big room? And could this potentially, I guess, be the partner we've been looking for the entire time that helps really push us? Because I imagine that there are a lot of people that get emails or text notifications or whatever from Masonic about shows that are coming, and probably some quote unquote casual wrestling fans who are maybe willing to take a flyer on this if they are promoting it.
Well, that's really a question for them. I will say in my preliminary talks, I don't think so. Just based on, I did inquire numbers about that big room as far as what we would have to pay out. Like what would we have to do to get in that big room? And it is a big fee, you know what I mean, for a big room. So I can't really predict, how they're going to feel about us going forward, right? Like Friday is, it's the first date there. So I think there's a lot of things that got to happen for them to fully embrace us, right? Like, first and foremost, I paid for all the dates up front, right? Like they liked that. Like that got us secured. At least in the small room for the year for the dates that we wanted, which is the entire Odeon schedule that we had. Now we've sold it out. That obviously is helping our case, right? But selling out the small room and selling out the big room are it's not even in the same realm. You know what I mean? Like we're talking 1,500 at least difference in capacity. So, you know what I mean? I don't know. Certainly, the numbers at the bar and concessions will certainly help us look good. You know what I'm saying? Like, they did tell me.
You're not saying. Sorry, to clarify for everybody, like you're not saying that room is 1,500 total. You're saying that's the difference between what we just sold out, and then it would be
right.
1,500 more.
At least, I would think. At least. So I would, I think if people come ready to drink and have fun on Friday, that certainly helps our case. But maybe we never go to that big room. You know what I mean? Running that big room is a dream of mine. I saw ECW in there for the first time live. That's where ECW ran their first house show in the Cleveland area was in that big room in the auditorium at the Masonic. So it does hold a special place with me, but I'm also realistic. You know what I mean? Like, we've never come close to being able to fill that room. So it would take a lot, and I mean a lot of things to go perfectly right.
What if it was like a scenario where, you did our dates that we have now booked for this year, and they all did really well, like all were sellouts. And then you start the calendar year over again, whatever, in January. But by the time it comes around to what would be like a bigger show, Absolution, then maybe you hold something like that. Like you work your way into it, obviously.
I mean, I don't want to say numbers, but, I'm going to say to rent that space is the equivalent of a used car, a nice used car. It's not cheap. It's gigantic space. I don't know that we've ever even hit that number of total gross revenue, right? Like, I'm not talking net, I'm talking, gross. So there's there's a lot of things, I'm more looking to let's sell out the Asylum room every time, and I'd be happy with that, honestly. Going to that big room creates a whole realm of big problems.
Yeah, I get it. And you're gloom and doom guy. You're a pessimist guy anyway, so we'd have to sell out the small room many times before your mind even thought about it.
I mean, I'll talk to you guys. I'll
it's a
talk
fun
to you
game
guys
to play, though.
I'll talk to you guys off the air, but I mean, when you hear these numbers, you'll go, whoa. You know what I mean? Like, there's a large discrepancy for sure in what we're doing in this room compared to what we would have to do in the other room.
Oh, I've heard these numbers, but I figured, we're on the pod. People are going to wonder and ask. I was like, let me throw the question out there so people understand.
We're gonna get that insider info. I feel like Johnny Bats.
Well, let's why don't we talk about
Insider Ed?
We'll talk about some fun stuff. We're
my guy.
You want to throw out numbers? I'm not gonna ask you to throw out the numbers, but we are spending some good coin on this show.
Oh yeah, even with a sellout, it's a money loser. I mean, it was by design that way, though. We wanted to come out swinging, coming back to Cleveland.
We've got, heck, we've got X-Pac, you guys. That's some money well spent right there. And
I think it's 10 or 11 flights just for this show.
Jeez.
When is the last time we booked 10 to 11 flights?
Never. Never once. Not even for a J-Lit weekend has it come close to this many flights.
Wow. I mean, it is, I don't even know how to explain what this lineup is. Of course it's sold out. Honestly, it's kind of a surprise it took until Tuesday to sell this thing out.
Well, I mean, listen, there's a lot of there's a lot of factors in it, but it's a new venue, it's all kinds of stuff. I wanted to come out and establish this as our home, and I also understand fans are weird about venue switches. You know what I mean? Like, some people love the
Sure.
Odeon, some people hate the Odeon, some people hate the Shrine. But I wanted to put something on the table that brought everybody to this room because, I know people have seen what it looked like not full, but I think full, it is going to have a crazy, crazy atmosphere. Pedro and I went and toured it several months ago, and it's comparable to the size of the Odeon. I'll say that. And it's just open. You know what I mean? There's not like, you're getting jammed back by the merch tables at the Odeon, and you can't really. There's not. It's just a big. It's just a big open Odeon. Essentially, is the way it looks to me. It's a little narrower, but I think packed. It's going to be an unreal experience. And this is what I'll say is, once we set up Friday, going forward, we'll know if we can add or subtract more premium seating, because there's been a lot of people that are pissed about the premium seating. We did put less up than, say we would put up at the Shrine, but we don't know, you know what I mean? Like, we don't know. We do not want to get in the position to oversell the premium seating and not be able to deliver it. So there's a possibility that when we're back there in June, there'll be a few more actual premium seats available. But Pedro is pretty good at this stuff, and he went in there and, kind of measured it out and walked it out. And, these are the numbers that he came up with. So there's a possibility that we're dead on, so time will tell. But I'm really excited about it. I wanted to come out swinging for the fences for our first show at this venue.
Well, so with regards to that, I guess question would be, when we get there that day and we've set up, is there a possibility that we talk to the venue and there will be any last minute standing room only tickets opened?
No, I do not think that. I really, I've been asked this question a million times since yesterday, and I really don't think so. You know what I mean? Like, once you get the staff in there and all the students in there, and you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't think that there's any chance. I will say this though. I just actually was contacted by the venue. Literally, I just looked at my email. They did say for people who want to arrive early, especially these GA people that want to arrive, they want to get through the meet and greet and try to get a spot. They did say that they have multiple rooms in this place. It's like a complex. They did say that they will open one of the bars that is outside of our venue, like our room. They're going to open a bar if AIW fans want to come early for a happy hour and kind of, start drinking around 5:30 and, kind of prepare for the show and get in line or whatever. It's not going to be like the Odeon where you had to stand outside until 6:30 or whenever we open doors. So you will be permitted to come in if you want to start drinking a little early on Friday. They are going to do a little happy hour around 5 o'clock.
Oh, wow. That's rad.
Yeah. Hey, there you go. That's you heard it here first type stuff, folks. Breaking news, heart of the matter, right here on the card is going to change.
I feel like that's pretty big for a handful of people, because we get a lot of fans that show up really early and they're either just standing around out front in the cold, or when it was Odeon, out front of the Odeon, or would stand in that parking lot or whatever. Man, you can come in, stand at a bar, and have a pop or two. That's pretty huge.
Yeah, always people wondering where to go, what to do.
Right, and I know people would do this at the Winchester and things like that. So I wanted to get it out there as soon as possible, but don't come down and just sit in their bar. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
if you want to, you know what I mean? At least buy a beer or something, or a pop or something. You know what I mean? Like, don't just be like, okay, we're here, and then just like stare at the bartenders. Like they're not offering to do this out of the goodness of their heart, right? Like they want to, they certainly want to accommodate people coming early, but they don't want just people standing around waiting for 2 hours. They certainly want to get people buying drinks and things like that. But it's something that we talked about when we had the meeting there. I thought it sounded like a good idea, but I didn't hear anything back, and I followed up with them today, and they just got back to me and said that they will have bartenders on hand and open up a bar for AIW fans who arrive early and kind of want to start getting the night moving, so to speak.
All right, so let's talk about
policy. I'd be hitting that up. No, just kidding. I got a job to do.
Let's talk about some of the folks on the show, how this card came together, because there are definitely a lot of newcomers. And again, this is completely sold out, folks. So if you're listening to this, and we do have a lot of out-of-town listeners, we will be streaming live on the Fight Plus app via Fight TV. So make sure, if you are not subscribed to that, you do subscribe. But aside from X-Pac, who will be the meet and greet, no, he is not wrestling on the show, but there will be plenty of people that you really have not seen in AIW before. And again, some of this goes to simultaneously, Jocelyn Navarro continuously gets, rewarded / also tested. And this month is no different, John.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you want the truth on how this match came together, Black Label Pro reached out to me. They're running on Saturday. A little plug ski for them. Also will be on Fight Plus this Saturday. And had some talents that he was booking, and obviously knew that there's a lot of those talents that we book, and Steph was on the list of somebody that he wanted to book, so he put me in contact, and we were able to work out a deal. So, really, I would love to take credit for it, but I got to give Mikey Blanton a little bit of credit on this one. He, kind of presented me with a list of people that he wanted to book, and he wanted to see if I was interested. And, booking high caliber female talent is always very tricky in this day and age, with everybody being signed and, just being booked all over the world, literally at this point. So I certainly jumped at the opportunity. Obviously, a super highly touted free agent in the world of wrestling right now. So I think it served so many different purposes. She certainly has a fan base, has not done much independent work since being released from WWE in America. Will certainly give Jocelyn Navarro a test as well. So yeah, I mean, I think it checked a bunch of boxes. Also, I want to go back to the X-Pac meet and greet really quick, because a lot of people want to know what he's going to be charging. And, it is a bit heftier than what we are used to. You know what I mean? We try to get it down as much as possible. But it is going to be $40 per autograph, $40 per photo op, or a $60 combo of one of each. Just to give everybody.
That's not bad.
I know, but it is higher than usual. Well, right, exactly, and I don't think that, and that's kind of the point that I wanted to get across. You know what I mean? Everybody comes at a different level, and different levels accrue different pricing, and there's a lot of things that have factored into these prices raising as we've come out of COVID, and a lot of that is, the pop culture con and the rise of that type of pricing. So I just found out what it's going to be. So I wanted to get that out there as well. That is a podcast exclusive. And he is looking to accept cash only. Now, if you have multiple items, you have to be prepared to pay for multiple autographs. I mean, that's just the way it is. Everything we've done has been through a third party. So I've not actually even spoken to Sean Waltman at all concerning this booking. But I just wanted to get all that information out there as soon as possible. So
do we have any dolls of his that will be selling at all? Summers wants to know. Like, we usually have like a doll or two, like a box, like package.
Yeah. So we do have a few. We picked up a few of the. They're like his newest, I think, Elite, like a DX Elite. I would have to look. I know Pedro picks them up to sell kind of at the front of the the front of the house, so to speak, before you get into the meet and greet if you do not have an item. And I know he will have several 8x10s to choose from as well.
Well, first of all, big thing to note for everybody who is coming. If you are listening to this, John mentioned Xbox is looking to take cash only. So that is hugely important if you are showing up. Please make sure you made note of that. If you listen to this podcast and you show up and you don't get to get something because you didn't bring cash, and you're like, I don't know, why did you say it on the podcast? This is your moment. I am reiterating it. I am stressing it. The man just said cash only for the meet and greet.
I mean, there's a possibility we can do like a Cash App, Venmo thing, but, with the cash is so much easier, you know what I mean, to go directly to him. So just keep that in mind, please. I mean, if we need to accommodate, we can accommodate within reason. And to answer the Summers question, it is we have a few of the X-Pac Series 15 Mattel figures. He's in the street clothes and the DX Army hat, I believe, in the camos. I believe this is from, the Nitro Invasion, it looks like. We have a few of those that will be for sale on Friday.
I'm looking on their website. I'm trying to see if there's an ATM in-house, because you said it's like a complex of a handful of rooms. Sometimes they have ATMs in there. I don't see anything online. I'm looking for you.
Yeah, I would be willing to bet that they do, but
right. I just don't want to say it and then there not be one, and people are like, fucking Ronald Two Legs said there was a fucking ATM in there.
Pardon the pun. I would not bank on it, but there should be one there. Speaking of getting tested, we talked about Jocelyn going to match up with Steph, but Dominic Guarini, the Bone Collector, has a test of his own that he wanted on the show in Timothy Thatcher. So I'm guessing, John Thorne, that is another flight of
correct
of the
correct.
number
But that one is not being split with Black Label. This is an exclusive to AIW Weekend talent. He is somebody that I had been trying to reach out to, and I mean, this guy is off the grid. No social media, no anything, no email anywhere. Dom thought he had a number for him, and then all of a sudden, it was actually during the Paul London seminar at the AIW school. I had to go and check in one of the hotel rooms, and I got a text, and it was from Chris Hero, and it was just an email, and nothing else. And the email isn't like Timothy Thatcher. It's like nowhere close to that. And I was like, "What's this?" And he's like, "Oh, I heard you're trying to get a hold of Timothy Thatcher." Which I have no idea how he heard that I'm trying to get a hold of Timothy Thatcher. It was the weirdest thing that ever happened. But then I started negotiating, and Dom actually had no idea that it was going to be him versus Timothy Thatcher. And he was kind of pitching opponents to me, and I said, I already booked an opponent for you. As Dom does, he likes to pitch his own opponents. I don't know if you're aware. Dom loves pitching. So we call him the fucking relief pitcher because he's always coming in with tons of fucking ideas for himself. So,
like Kenny Powers.
Yeah, he's coming in hot, pitching. He's a pitching machine. And I said, I already got an opponent for you. And I wanted to just hit the graphic, but he was pressing me so much. I booked fucking Timothy Thatcher already for you. All right, like he ruined the surprise because he was so adamant on. I wanted to surprise him. I just wanted to put the graphic up and have him experience it for him, like everybody else experienced it. But No, he just kept asking too many questions. So that's how that one came about.
uh, he is not the surprise collector. He's just the bone collector. So, what do you expect? But definitely going to be a fun, interesting matchup. Certainly a style that Dom enjoys working, and this will be a unique one. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Timothy Thatcher has he ever worked AIW in early days or not at all?
Never. No, never.
I didn't think so.
Never ever. So this is a debut.
Welcome to the First Timer Club. I mean, it's a very tall task for Dominic Guarini, as he's become accustomed to in AIW, but certainly this is someone who is well traveled internationally. Just looking forward to this one very much so. And as I'm sitting here saying looking forward to it, a side note, not just from the people that are going to appear on screen, but people behind the microphone. Do we have a certain return to the announce team during this show, John Thorne? Do you know?
Oh, yeah. It's football season's over. Nathan Zagura will be returning to the broadcast booth this Friday night.
There you go.
I thought you were talking about Alberti because he was out sick last time. I thought that's who I'm waiting for.
We love Alberti, but
I know, I'm just kidding.
Nathan
Real quick though, I was gonna say about Thatcher though, dude. Like
all elite Alberti, right. That's what I call him now.
Thatcher, like that's a guy you're not gonna see like doing a lot of indie dates. You know what I mean? This is not right. This is not a guy you get.
No,
to
actually,
get...
no. And I did ask him. I said, "Hey, do you want me to find? I can guarantee you, I can find you a show on Saturday, because there's a million shows happening on Saturday." And he said, "No." He said, "I'm gone so much. I would love to just do your show and return home." So I mean, that's it.
Yeah, like you're not going to get to see Timothy Thatcher often.
Right. I mean, maybe you'll see him at Mania weekend doing something, but I don't think that he's in to do too much in America. I know he's doing a lot in Japan right now, and I think that's his sole focus. So, yeah, I would certainly check it out while you can. I mean, I can't tell you to buy a ticket, but I'm hopeful that this card also really kind of puts us over the edge on Fight. I think this is the perfect card for Fight. Obviously, this is like the perfect, pay-per-view type of lineup. And it's not an pay-per-view. It's available for $7.99 on Fight Plus. So I'm really hoping that we see a nice increase in numbers on Fight as well, to kind of match this in-person sellout that we have going on Friday.
Well, and this is going to get a nice mix of, if you are tuning into Fight, you're going to see bigger names. We talked about Timothy Thatcher. You have announced that Joey Janela will be there. He's got a match in some capacity. It has not been announced yet. Tom Lawler.
He's going to be in the scramble, Steve.
I'm aware, John Thorne. I just didn't know if you were going to announce it by the time this comes out.
I won't say the last person though, because that's probably not going to get announced till Friday morning, and it's going to blow people's minds.
So there you go. Joey Janela is your next competitor in the scramble here. That scramble is, and that's kind of what I was alluding to. Let me get back to that real quick. But we have Tom Lawler will be here. We've got a 4-way tag match that is going to be happening pre-show. So just for the live audience.
Will not be on the stream. Live audience only.
We've got some storytelling matches, some matches that we've had some things building. But then we've got stuff like this intense title match. This is a very old school AIW thing. We and Derek knows this as the intense champion. This is a thing that he used to enjoy watching about AIW. But you've got the return of the intense scramble for the intense title. I remember it wasn't very long ago that this was a mainstay on an AIW card, and that's really how the intense title was determined, as opposed to what it became, one-on-one, no rules, guys falling off of balconies. But
Listen,
that's
this no rules thing was never a memo from the office. I'll say that. This is taking on a life of its own among the talent and fans, but it was never, hey, well, this is the no rules belt now. That was never said. I've never, to my knowledge, I've never agreed with it or said it. This intense rules thing, all this shit took on a life of its own. Probably when I was, getting a drink from the bar and you guys were fucking making these announcements and, doing this show without any supervision. Dad was too drunk in the fucking, in the garage, when this shit was going on. I'll say that. Left to my own devices there. But, yeah. The six-pack scramble is essentially the foundation of the intense division. And a lot of people didn't realize this, but we have not done a show in Cleveland proper since August. We've not done a show in the Cleveland area since October. You know what I mean? So we've been gone for a long, long time. And I really wanted to, just, like I said, come out of the gate swinging. And I wanted to put together, listen, like, AIW is Cleveland. AIW is always going to be Cleveland. Like, and I wanted to throw all the fucking everything in the blender that AIW is and put it on this show. And there was no way that we were going to come back to Cleveland without a big six-pack scramble. You know what I mean? Every fan that's ever seen an AIW show in Cleveland knows the six-pack scramble, and that's why this is on this show. There was just no way we weren't going to do that because, there's a lot of fans that are probably coming back on Friday that don't go to Akron, that didn't go to Youngstown, that, you know what I mean, that didn't go to Kent or any of that, So I wanted to give everything we had and put our best foot forward, and there was no way we weren't going to have a six-pack scramble on this show.
And this scramble, as it stands right now, and Ronnie Two Legs, you could chime in on this. Any one person in this scramble could legitimately win it. It's part of what happens in a six-pack scramble. I mean, it's a hell of a shot to have to win that. Derek has his work cut out for him just to retain this title. He can lose the title by not being pinned, So, I mean, you've got Derek defending his title. You got Chase Oliver, who, took Derek to the limits in Youngstown just recently. Alec Price, Kaplan. We've added now Joey Janela, and still one more person who is yet to be named. This is going to be crazy.
I didn't even see Kaplan get. I didn't see Kaplan get added, but Derek has wrestled. He wrestled Janela. He's wrestled Chase. He wrestled Alec Price, right?
Yeah.
He wrestled. I think he's wrestled Kaplan before. This is like a ghost of Derek's past coming back to all just try to take his belt from him. He's been taken to the limits by all these guys, and now he gets them all at the same time. It's like some Scott Pilgrim shit or something.
John Thorne, you got it out for Derek Dillinger? You don't want him to have that title anymore, or what?
I mean, I could do without him.
Well, he will, as always, have that wild card, Ziggy Haim, in his corner, so he's going to need her.
Yeah, I could do without him.
A man of so many words. The other thing, I did bring up Tom Lawler. You got Tom Lawler and Wes Barkley. That'll be a hell of a match.
You know what I'm interested, though? You know what I'm interested in that? Not to graze over it, obviously big test for Wes Barkley. Did any of the Barkley Nation get tickets before they sold out? You know what I mean? That could be a huge factor because Wes Barkley loves that hometown, home court advantage in Cleveland. Yeah. I don't see the Barkley Nation being, I guess, ahead of the game as far as getting tickets. So could they have all been shut out? You know what I mean? Could they have all been shut out? That could have a serious factor on the momentum of the match.
Yeah, I don't know if the Barkley Nation party bus will be rolling up to Temple Live in Cleveland. It's a great question.
I can hear it now. There's a commotion at the front door, and Pedro's trying to hold back all these people because the Barkley bus unloaded, and they're pissed because they can't get in. I can hear it now.
Yeah, not a thing I want to deal with. That's why Pedro's on the front lines.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I thought about is, a lot of these people, they're people that comes, to support them. They're probably like, oh yeah, I'll get tickets at the door, and now there are no tickets at the door. So now what happens?
I know a handful of regulars that we know that were waiting around for whatever reason. I don't know why, but they said, come on, you work there, you can't get me a ticket. I'm like, no, it's a different ticket provider now. It's just different times. And I don't mean shit. No one's giving me tickets, but I was like,
no,
I don't know what to tell you.
A lot of people have messaged me, and like, I'm just like,
yeah,
there's nothing I can do, but like, it is what it is. Like, their people are going to be at the door. I mean, Pedro's going to be there too, but you know what I mean? I don't know. I can't be like, yeah, come on, we'll get you in, because I don't know what I don't know what we're walking into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We've also got this sort of blood feud that's been brewing between PME and then euthanasia, reinvigorated euthanasia. It's just weird to say. I realize
could be
but
Josh Prohibition's final match in AIW.
It could be. If he loses with Matt Cross, Josh is out. See you later.
Could have been his final match ever if he didn't do a fundraiser at his school and promise the kids a match on April 7th. So,
well, you got to give the kids what they want there. The Bitcoin Boys will be defending their titles against the winner of the four-way tag match that is on the pre-show. Such a Duke thing to be able to negotiate to have happen. Yeah, my boys are going to have a tag match to defend the titles, but you know what? They're going to defend them against the guys that already had a match earlier in the night, not somebody fresh, okay?
Against three other teams too. Like, it's not just like a one-on-one tag match. It's against three guys or three teams. I mean, three different teams.
Right. So we don't know, you know what I mean? We don't know who's going to be in that spot right now. But a little incentive to get there early to make sure you're there for the pre-show match. But I mean, I do have a feeling that the X-Pac meet and greet line is going to be hefty. You know what I mean? So the earlier I think you get there and get in that line and get done, especially if you don't have a premium seat, like if you're GA, like, you better get there early. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
Because you don't want to get there late and be stuck in that Xbox line and then try to find, you know what I mean, a spot to watch the show. So little life hack for you GA people. I would suggest you get there early, get through that Xbox line as quick as possible.
Yeah. And then, not to gloss over, but we do have a rematch between PB Smooth and Brian Shaw.
Shaw Mason.
So my bad, dude. PB Smooth and Shaw Mason. So PB, he did lose their match in Akron, and some people thought he may have tapped out, but as I was told by the referee, he did lose to disqualification. So that was the case. He, assaulted a referee, and hey, that gets you disqualified. So that's the blemish on his record there. No tapping out. So we will see if Shaw can get PB Smooth to tap out this time around. And then the big match of the night, the main event, the absolute title on the line. And you already have Matt Cardona, who still swears that he is both the absolute and intense champion. Guy has his own title belts, for crying out loud.
Replicas.
Yeah, replicas. You stand by those are replicas,
really nice.
right?
Yeah.
You didn't
they didn't come from me.
Yeah, okay. He's that adamant that he's still champ. Isaiah Broner as a contender.
Think I got that kind of money?
Joshua Bishop
just had to buy a new car. Shout out to Big Ted.
And the way this was supposed to go, Joshua Bishop has been throwing out challenges saying he'll take on whoever, and that's how we got Cardona into this match, to kind of defend his own championship, so to speak. Isaiah Broner says, no, I want this again. And then all of a sudden, dropping in news like he's somebody from Cleveland 19 News. Here comes Fonzie, and he says, no, my guy Matthew Justice is in this match. So now it's a four-way.
Fonzie felt disrespected, Daddy. He felt disrespected. He said you can't have a main event without. He gave him so many nicknames: Matthew effing Hardcore effing Justice. I think he threw another name in there. I loved it. Fonzie, the king of the promos.
Which I think he may have been selling gimmicks in his living room. Did anybody else pick up on that?
Yeah, he had some stuff laid out on that table.
I think he brings the neighbor
photo of him
and Matt Justice.
Him
he had
Justice
all his whistles
in a framed photo. Do you think you could tell a younger Matt Justice that ECW, WWE wrestling all around legend Bill Alfonso's going to have a framed photo of you and him in his home? I think he'd be happy about that.
That's a fact. Yeah, I don't know. Fonzie is a different breed. But how do you say no to that promo? You know what I mean? How do you say no to that? So as soon as the sellout was announced, I figured, fuck it, let's make it official.
Yeah, I don't know how to say no to that. Also, if you are looking to purchase any sort of memorabilia, just dial 1-888-1-MIDDLE. That's 1-888-1-MIDDLE, and you can purchase any of the memorabilia that was on Fonzie's table there.
Go.
Okay, there it is.
Steve, you need a cut of that, Steve?
Yeah, I don't even know if that's a real thing. I just figured it works.
Thanks, Daddy.
I'm telling you, I think he invites the neighborhood neighbors over.
I swear to God, if I lived next to that guy, I'd hang out with him every day.
You know how like when you live in like a cul-de-sac, like everyone gets together and does the yard sale together. Like maybe that's Fonzie's contribution. Maybe it was yard sale weekend in the neighborhood, and Fonzie's just going out there doing a gimmick table.
It could be. Why not? You know, what do you think he's charging for that gimmick table at his yard sale? All right. Well, those are the matches. Anything I'm missing here, John Thorne?
Oh, I don't know, probably, but who the fuck knows?
I got a question.
We don't got to sell any more tickets. Who cares?
No, we don't. Ronald Two Legs has a question.
After party? Are we going after party anywhere? Was there any word on that?
That's a question for Steve Guy. He's on a mission trying to find a location.
Yeah, still
wants to know.
We have the possibility of a previous after party location. I'm waiting to hear back on that. And
to be determined.
You all know. What's that?
To be determined still.
Yeah, TBD. I'm sending a text right now. That's why I got quiet. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
I knew that question would show up.
You know, at the very least, we have a pre-party going at the happy hour inside the Temple Live venue. I think we'll figure somewhere out to go.
Yeah, we always figure out somewhere to go. Don't you worry, folks.
What I will say though is, listen, we got a couple more surprises coming to the April 22nd lineup in Akron. So don't sleep on those tickets like some of you slept on these tickets. And buy them up because we still do have some front row available for that, I believe. So hop on those premium tickets for April 22nd. Ron Simmons already announced, the legend, coming in for a meet and greet. And then Gauntlet for the Gold, May 20th, we return to 4 Sports, which I'm hopeful that we can pack that place again. You know what I mean? We've done it 2 years in a row on Black Friday. I want to see if we can do it for another one of our big premium events, Gauntlet for the Gold, on May 20th. What do you guys got? You guys got any plug skis? Two Legs, you want to talk? You want
only place you can
talk about our adventure on Saturday? We can't reveal too much, probably.
That was it was a lot of fun, is all I'll say. Shout out to Joe Sposto. He's been saying Double J's the man for a while. I agree with him. Double J rocks. TK, your new close personal friend, great guy. My new friend Jake Manning. I like that guy. He's cool. Who else? We met a lot of nice people on Saturday. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was.
Zay, Caleb, Ed Bats, Dustin Alberti, all the crew.
Chase,
Megan.
I won't get too into it, but can't really say enough good things about AEW and the house show and kind of letting us into their world for a couple hours. It was super cool, great experience for everybody that went and participated in it. Crazy day overall, and just really interesting to see. I know it wasn't television, but just to kind of see how that big of a machine runs. You know what I mean? Like, it's just very interesting. It was very interesting to kind of be a fly on the wall and seeing all that operate and, being backstage in an arena and just all sorts of just crazy things that you never think you'll ever see in your life. You know what I mean? In a good way. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, that was fucking awesome. Thanks again for bringing me, because that rocked. Hope I helped.
It was a cool experience Saturday at AEW House Rules. I'm just I can't believe we're sold out on Friday. I'm super excited about it. I hope go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, hey guys, I'm sorry I couldn't join you Saturday. I was busy celebrating a day of birth, but it looks like I can unofficially tell you that we will be headed back to downtown Cleveland for the after party at the Dive Bar.
Well, there it is, unofficially.
Yeah, no flyer yet, but
is it officially? Is it official on their end and only official on our end when we make the flyer? Is that what you're saying?
I am in a
negotiations
text group with the owner and the new manager.
Okay.
So that was the holdup. I had been texting the old manager, not realizing there was a management change. So then I just texted the owner, and now I'm into a new thread, and there we are. And he says, "Let's make it happen."
All right,
said,
Dive Bar it is.
I said, "I just need a thumbs up, brother, and then we'll get you a flyer, man."
Dive Bar it is. I'll put the. Listen, look at this. You know what I mean? We're right before we recorded. We had a venue date discussion that almost went on the air for June. Now we're booking the after party while we're recording.
Look, we get things done here at AIW.
See, when we podcast, we actually lock in and fucking do shit. It's when we're not podcasting, when shit goes all haywire. I can't even believe that we were able to sell this fucking show out with how disconnected we've all been since February 4th. That's the last show too, isn't it? February 4th. Wow.
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
No, we do
the 10 or was the Sandman
the 11,
was after that?
Youngstown.
Yeah, 211. Still, I mean, it's been a while, because there was supposed to be Winchester date in the middle there that fell apart.
Yep.
I can confirm that, I know last time we podcasted it was kind of up in the air, I think. I can confirm, all the Winchester dates are off the schedule for 2023. I mean, it's nothing that they did. It's just, they were getting pressures from their insurer about the types of events that they do, and their hands were tied, and we were kind of forced out the door. So we are looking to replace those on the schedule somewhere. I have a few irons in the fire right now, but nothing official yet.
Yeah, I do. I sell cards with the other, the one owner, and I've seen him twice now, and he was even telling me, you can tell he was genuine. I'm pretty good at knowing when people are bullshitting me. And he was pretty genuine about yeah, man, he was very bummed because we started getting a real good rotation. We had some steam going with it. We had a bunch of Thursdays in a row packed in there. He's we had some real momentum, and they just immediately started busting our balls on that. And I feel like, you know what I mean? I feel like he was bummed as well.
Oh yeah, they were for sure super disappointed and tried to do everything they could to keep us on the schedule, but
yeah.
Oh, everybody's disappointed. I talked to the one bartender that I'm friends with there. She's super disappointed. Obviously, I mean that's a heck of a moneymaker when you bartend there. So, hey folks, we will persevere as we always do, and find another spot to roll into and try to because we do obviously want to try to keep those Thursday nights. Uh, those are fun little things, right, John Thorne?
No, and they're great. It's great for the fans. It's great that we're able to, put a cheaper ticket on it, get the students reps. Those are the shows where you're going to see different talent from different areas. We're able to bring carloads in on those shows to where we can't really do that on a lot of these, main venue shows because they are, we have our roster. But, the Thursday gigs, we're always able to kind of keep them fresh and bring in different talents. And I'm trying to get back to it. I'm trying to find a location. I got something cooking right now, not necessarily Lakewood, but something maybe interested in a Thursday on the outskirts of Cleveland a little bit. So to be determined on that as well. What else you guys got? Steve, how was your birthday?
My birthday was good, man. Had a
Yeah, sorry we
fun,
couldn't come.
fun gathering of all sorts of people, and it was cool. I know that John Thor talked about the pie charts and keeping everything separate, and I usually adhere to that for different reasons, just because I feel like I like having different groups and pockets of people in my life.
It's hard to do on the birthday party, though.
Yeah, exactly. Like I get something different from all those different groups of people. But on my birthday, it's like, you know what? I'd like to do this with everybody. I don't want to go to all these different things. It's my birthday. Why don't you all come hang out with me? And it was neat to see all those different people kind of interact and through the different walks of life and see how that was going to go. Uh, the wrestling pie, not super represented. There was
It's
some
hard.
representation.
Saturdays are hard, man.
Oh, I
Like
know. Well, and I knew that going in. I was like, all right, you know what I mean? It's a Saturday, so most of my friends are going to be booked on doing stuff. So
Thorne had to go hang out with his close personal friend TK, and he dragged me along. That's why we weren't able.
I know, dropped
Forced
me
me to go.
close personal text friend. Look, we've done Gauntlet for the Gold on my birthday in the past.
I'll say
that'd be
this.
awesome.
I initially was not going to go, and I was going to go to your birthday, but as this thing developed, and anybody that's been around Chase Oliver in a production situation, I knew that there needed to be a buffer there, because it was going to be higher pressure than ever for him. And I think me being there really alleviated some of that for a lot of our crew because, I just know everybody. Like I know everybody there for the most part, and even people I didn't know. You know what I mean? It didn't really matter, but like I've met Tony Khan numerous times. You know what I mean? So like we're on a first name basis to where. I don't know how that would have went with like the other guys just showing up and be like, "Hey, we're here," because it was
definitely the right
like,
call. You going for sure?
Yeah, I think it just kind of it worked well to have that buffer there between like the AEW people and our people, and for what they wanted, and I was able to kind of maneuver that, and like Double J knowing me certainly helped as well, you know what I mean, in that environment. It just kind of helped relax everybody, I think. So, initially I wasn't going to go, you know what I mean? I was not in for 3.5 hour each way trip, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't too down for that on Saturday, but as things, developed with it, which they developed rather quickly, I thought, you know what, I should probably kind of be there and also kind of keep our people, in line a bit because, some people can get a little too comfortable, John Batts, in situations. So I just kind of, you know what I mean? I kind of had to keep everything in line.
I did see him a week or two prior, He was the photographer at a surprise birthday party that I had to bartend at the Flatiron. So it was a surprise to me to see him at my job taking photos of people. So it's not just
It's never a good surprise either, is it?
I love bats.
Yeah, that makes one.
Hey, he's a nice guy. All right. So it is officially official, I should say. We're definitely 100% going to the dive bar. So, folks, you don't have to wait for the flyer. You're hearing it right now. That's where the after party is on Friday night. There have been other suggestions that were thrown out, but, you know, a lot of these places are pretty small. Not that we haven't had things at small places previously, but it just works, right? Keep it nice and easy. The roster enjoys going to the dive bar. We're gonna go have a good time.
Yeah, and if you're drinking at the temple, it's a short 8-minute Uber ride to the dive bar.
Yeah, there you go. Uber right
Probably
over.
closer,
I know.
Probably closer to 5, honestly.
I know Scott Random was asking, so he's now got the info. And his buddy Jose's got my Zoas on the way. Can't wait. The Oos Juice. What else can we cover here? That's Akron. We talked about that. Coming up, get your tickets. April 22nd, meet Ron Simmons. Am I missing anything? I feel like we've done well here. I would say this.
Two legs. What do you got?
I feel like we covered it all. I don't know.
We need to get these in-person pods going here in 2023.
Do you have any podcast equipment that you can bring in case we can record anything just for some Patreon stuff here on Friday? I got a few ideas I want to take care of.
I said
Thorn,
that.
I know that got stolen out of your car, Thorn.
Yeah.
We didn't get anything new recently, have we?
We can't do the in-person pods because they were stolen in my car, the equipment. No, but, they were... Big Ted at Nissan Medina did not replace my podcast equipment when I replaced my stolen car. So, ongoing, one step at a time.
My car that was in a car accident several weeks ago is getting worked on. I do not have any podcast equipment in there, but it is getting worked on by an old friend, AIW adjacent.
Well, maybe it's your old friend.
he's technically still my friend, not even technically.
All right, that's it for me.
All right. Well, hey, folks, that's all the information we have for you. You've gotten quite a bit of it. You are already aware we are sold out for this Friday, so we don't have any tickets to sell you. We don't have any tickets to hard sell you on. But if you're not going to be there at Temple Live, the Masonic in Cleveland, don't forget to join us on Fight Plus. If you have not subscribed, it's only $7.99 a month. As Thorn alluded to, look, that's way cheaper than doing IPPVs on Fight TV. So this is a much better deal for you, the viewer, the consumer. And if you sign up for Fight Plus, the app, not only do you get our streams live, you get so many other things as well, and not just pro wrestling. You get boxing, you get MMA, you get bare knuckle fighting, John Thorne's new favorite sport. So check all of that out. It is the Fight Plus app for $7.99 a month. And of course, we continuously upload the AIW archive. Looking forward to seeing everybody this weekend for AIW's 216. For AIW owner John Thorne, for the EVP of Audio Engineering, Ronald Toonlegs, my name is Steve Guy. We'll talk to you next time on The Card is Going to Change.
Smell you later.